Well, this is my third try, third time's a charm. Yeah, to making an introductory video to my channel that no one's gonna watch, and that's okay. Um, my whole intention of making this videos or making this channel and the videos I put on the channel is to basically just self therapy. Me trying to process things in my mind and communicate it. Because, okay, so first off, I am ASD level 1, formerly called Asperger's. And so communicating to others at the level and extent and with the ideas and such that I have, and it's quite difficult. A lot of people don't want to talk on a lot of the things that I obsess over. They just don't, and I get it, 100%. First and foremost, I am definitely not an expert in any field. Um, I would never claim any expert advice. I don't condone anything. I'm just here to be myself. Um, I am not interested in getting into political, religious, philosophical, uh, non philosophical arguments. This is not what's going to happen on this channel. This isn't going to be solely me talking about the ideas that come from my head. Nothing more, nothing less. Um, if I even entertain a comment section, it's definitely going to be to talk about ideas, uh, not people, not persons, not places, not things, just ideas. I don't want to go any further. Obviously, anything that isn't mine will be sourced as best as possible. Um, where my ideas stemmed from, things like that, wherever I can remember. Um, a lot of my stuff I've written down. Um, and I tend to pull from many different areas. I guess if I had a way to explain myself to most people, I know a little bit about a lot of things. Yeah, some more so than others, and maybe that's a typical way of thinking. I don't know. I don't. I'm neurotypical. I don't think that way. I think different. A lot of it has to do with creativity. Has to do with just exploration. Uh, and you will hear, if you're listening to this channel, you will hear about Douglas Hofstadter on a regular basis. And I don't promote anything by him. He's just an author and a cognitive scientist. I have paid attention to, read, mostly just read his books for many, many years. And he had this concept. Now, I don't know if it was his originally. I'd have to go back through the books I've read, but it was a variation on a theme. If I was to sum up me, that would be it. You know, I think, therefore I variate. Whatever that is in Latin, I don't know. You guys can figure it out. Um, Weird to say, you guys. Like I'm talking to myself on a screen right now. That's a little bit outside. It's not like I'm talking to anyone in particular, even though if I post it, then obviously I'd be talking to whoever decides to tune in. But otherwise, I'm just talking to myself, which I'm pretty used to, so it's not a big deal. I don't really care. Trolls, criticism, all that. They can all. I don't care. Do what you need to do. Uh, I don't. I'm very indifferent to it. So I don't care if people comment on my looks. I don't care if people comment on how I speak. Anything. You know. Uh, don't knock developmental disability, and you're golden on my channel. And don't be a jerk or an asshole. You know. You don't have to talk about others. Like I said, don't talk about people. Talk about ideas. If you want to talk about ideas, then stay tuned. So one of the main goals of this channel is to just perpetuate, I guess you would say, naive ideas, because none of it's formal. It's not in any sense. It's been written down, but it's never been published or peer reviewed or anything. It's all, a lot of it's like novel in a certain sense. A lot of it has to deal with mathematics. But I might talk about anything, whatever I can get my mind's content to. I think I like a lot of different things. I have a strong interest in academia, and I pay attention to a lot of different things. I'm, like I said, zero expert, not at all. I do have a degree in psychology, but it's not like at an expert level. It's not at a level where I can give advice or anything. So I won't be doing such things like that. I'm just here to basically self-therapy. That's it. When you're autistic, and it doesn't matter where you're at on the spectrum, in many cases, you don't have a good means to be able to be yourself, to quote unquote let down your mask, as I call it. I try to, in a professional sense, a lot of people see me different than I am when I'm not masking, which, usually when I'm really tired or I'm mentally stressed, you see a lot more of my autistic behavior. However, most of the time I'm pretty reserved and stuff. The other thing about this channel is I freaking really hope whoever's watching has a gosh dang sense of humor, because I'm going to talk about everything if it's funny. I don't really care. If you're offended, please just go somewhere else. I'm not here for that kind of discussion. I'm not here. I mean, I would love to have those kinds of discussions, but face to face, not online, not via text, not via SMS, not via freaking any social media. I have zero social media, like anything. I just don't do it. I just, not my thing. I wouldn't mind discussing ideas by any means, and I'll do my best to source. I'll do my best to give credit where credit's due, I think, which most people would. Or what I'd hope anyways, that most people would. I'm a cancer survivor. I had cancer last year. It's been treated, and the treatment's kind of harsh on my throat. So my speech might be off on some days, and some days it might be on, and I might sound like a freaking robot, and some days I might be really jiving. I don't know. Jiving. Who says that anymore? Anyways, I think it's just, that's life, Some days you're this way, some days you're that way. There's definitely some average consistency there, somewhere close to the average. I guarantee it. Conceptually, I think of things like that. I think I find an average, and then I either move to the left a little bit or to the right a little bit, and then you're more closer to the truth in a lot of cases. Not everything. I think things are weighted. There's a lot of weights that are hitting in things that we're trying to understand. A lot of things that influence it. Confounding factors is I think a term used. Anywho, went well in experimental stuff. This is kind of it, and I don't expect anyone to watch this, but maybe friends and family. And if they do, hopefully they appreciate seeing me. They might have seen me too much. They're like, I'm going to turn the channel. Anyways, thank you for your time. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the near future.